Yes, normally I'd say thanks for staying with us, but I know you haven't left your seat because you want to see some more and hear about Murray Weideman. Murray, let me ask you about some of the great players that you've played against. What about Polly Farmer?
Wow.
Well, I was 56, so I was picked in the state side to go over to WA and play in the carnival they had in those days. And we'd heard about this Polly Farmer, and we had four of the best ruckmen: Alan Gale, Brian Gilmore, Neil Mann, and Butch Gale. So we lined up. He lined up at the centre bounce, Polly, and he'd be about 6'3", I would have said. So the ball was bounced, and he had two runners. The wingers were off, and the rovers were going. And he left-hander. He was left-handed, left-hand hand. He sent a handball. I reckon it went 40 metres.
Wow.
He was unbelievable football, and he'd won 2 standovers by that time. He's 21. He'd won 2 standovers, so he was one of my best in my top 10.
You know, and we probably never saw a player up until that time, and probably haven't seen too many like it since.
No,
they can fire out of handballs like that.
Yeah, let's go to the Sydney bloke now.
Buddy Franklin?
Buddy Franklin.
Yeah.
He's sort of similar to the one that got great strides and steps and all that, and handballing. And I think they're both good players. But I mainly talk about the blokes in my day. And you've got to put Bobby Rose, Ron Barassi, Bob Skilton, Roy Wright, Triple Brownlow medalists, and all those blokes.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Bob Rose. He's one of the biggest names alongside yourself to come out of Collingwood.
I'd say that. Bob Rose was a great player.
Yeah.
But see, what he did, he moved and went and coached Wangaratta Rovers, where I stayed on. Oh. And I made this mistake when I think I mentioned last time, I wish I'd had a manager when I first started playing, because I'd played for Collingwood for £10 a game, £2 out for tax.
Yes.
And 11 years, then I got to the end there, and I said, "No, I'm very foolish here, staying here, because I was making no money out of the game." Yeah. So I then went to the Albury. Albury rang me, and said, "We're looking for a coach next year." And I said, "What are you paying?" Because I had no idea. Yeah. They said £1,500 a year.
What? You would have...
It was in pounds days, £1,500 a year.
You would have banged the telephone like this.
So wait on, and then £1,500 and a rent-free house. I said, "Don't put the phone down. I'll be there tomorrow." And I did. I went there and drove up there the next day and then got the job. Wow. And it's exactly the same when I came over here to South Australia. I did 3 years there, won a premiership in 56, I think the year was. And then I came over here, 67, 68, 69 and 70. Same thing, $1,500, or dollars it was then. Dollars then, and rent-free house. So, I'd have made, if I'd have stayed on and played, I was only 27, so I could have played, I played here till I was 34. Wow. And I remember my first game against South Adelaide.
Peter Darley?
On the Adelaide Oval, played against Peter Darley, and not bragging or blowing my bags, but I got best on the ground, and I didn't think I was capable of doing that. Yeah. But I did. I played the kick behind, getting the kick easy.
And how did you find that transition now, coming from Victoria to South Australia at that time? Was it a big move?
Well, let me put it this way. The Ovens and Murray League were a very strong competition, I can tell you that. And I was captain coach, and we played against Geelong area there, up to
probably Latrobe Valley and
all those valleys and all that. And we were never beaten. I had 22 players that played league football in the squad. So you can sort of, then I came over here, then you came up against Jack Odie and his Sturt mob with Bagshaw, and I can name now. There were some good footballers, Shoffey and all those blokes in that side, Ricky Davies, you can go on, mention them all. But they were really good players, they were. I said, yes, if I go through their side, Sturt, they were very good.
Got to ask you about Big Nick, John Nichols. Everyone talks about him. Was he as big and as powerful as everyone says?
Oh, yes, he was. I played, he started in 56 and I played 3 years, and he belted me at Collingwood one day, and I said, "I'll get you before the end of the game," which I didn't get him. But out at Glenferrie, what is their oval out there?
The Princess
Oval. he's coming down the middle of the ground like a human tank he is. And I thought, oh, here I go. I've got to take him on and have a go at him.
Yeah.
I hit him. I swear it was like running into a tank. He bowled me over it. I just kept rolling. I didn't get up. I thought, I'll stay here. So I laid there for a while and I recovered, but never again. I never went near him again. He was power plus, he was.
2 weeks ago we read, I think the game is Tuesday night, Teddy Whitten's testimony. 20 years since Ted passed away. How'd you rate Teddy?
Oh, he was a great footballer, but a larrikin too on the ground. And Bobby Skilton was telling me the story. He said, you go there, and if you won the toss there, because the breeze was always running down the middle of the ground, you'd have 5, 6 goals up, and you're always chasing the other mob. Yeah. So Bobby Skilton, he said, Whitten tosses the coin up there, picks it up, and just threw it like that. And pointed to the goals. I'm going that way.
No one knew heads or tails.
Skilt did the same thing. He said, we're going that way too. So 2 teams are going all round down one end of the ground. So Skilt said to me, he said, watch, when he tosses the coin, don't let him pick it up, because he just picks it up and throws it like that back to the umpire and said it was a head. So I always watch him, but we did it one day at Collingwood. It was wet. Yeah. And when the middle of the ground at Collingwood, those days you toss the coin and go like that. Yeah. So we did that twice, and he said, Ted, you and I will go into the race, and we'll toss the coin in there. So we went in there, tossed the coin, he won one, and then I said, well, let's do 2 out of 3. So we did 2 out of 3. He won. He won.
Oh, that's very funny.
So he came out of the race. He's a showman, you was. Like I'd won the toss and we're kicking that way. But he was a very good footballer too.
Yeah. Well, I've got to ask you about the Murray Weideman Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah.
We formed. One of the players came to me, it was about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and said, look, there's a few players are in trouble financially, can't afford to pay their private health and all that, and they need their ankles done or knees done. I've had 2 knees done, but I was always in a Medibank private. But some of these players weren't. So what we did then was get them in and have a talk to them. So we'll pay your dividends in the Medibank private, and then once we get you fixed up and that, then you've got to carry that payment on yourself, which we've done. We've raised over 200,000.
Oh, that much?
Yeah,
well done.
we've done very well. So we have a big show once a year. And we get about 200-300 people there, and we got a damn good bank to anyone if they can't afford their funeral or anything like these blokes, we pay it.
Your time in South Australia playing footy, did you enjoy that time?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I had a good side, but I didn't have a Barry Robran.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. If I had Barry Robran in my team, I would have won a couple of grand finals here too. But he was something out of the box, and but you got to give credit where it goes. And I remember that day when the Carlton bloke,
Alex Jesaulenko,
stood behind me and clapped like that, and I said, no, that's admiration for a great player. But he was a great player.
We talk about Barry Robran. People always say, well, he never went and played in the VFL, so we don't really know. I mean, you were in a position...
He would have bolted it in.
Yeah.
He went over, he was interviewed by Carlton. They put a jumper on the table and a bag. I know how much money was in the bag. He said, now, there's a jumper and there's a bag with money in it. Now, what do you want to do? He said, I'll take the jumper. Because he came from Port Augusta, didn't he? Yeah. Or Whyalla, wasn't it? Whyalla, and he couldn't leave home.
No.
But that's a true story. There's a bloke told me, Carlton told me, there's £10,000 in there.
Wow.
Well, Murray, it's always great to talk to you. I'm afraid we're going to have to get you back again because there's just too many stories. We just can't get through them all. We need to finish up though. Stephen Swert's coming in next week. Hockey, of course, Hugh Purvis is going to join us. We've got Bowls SA, big TJ Saunders is back in, and Elbows in Aitken's going to drop in and have a chat as well. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Look forward to you coming next week, everyone. Bye for now.